Surviving Faith, Chapter 8. Beginning again. Behold, I do a new thing. It springs out now. Don't you know it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Isaiah 43:19. When we first left the church, my husband and I were turned off by many things we did while serving. I believe it's because the areas we were ministering in had become tainted with selfish ambition and man's desire to succeed. We did try to attend different churches because we didn't want to be outside of God's will. Then we finally realized that for us, it was His will that we take a break. There was a distinct time, however, when we both knew it was time to go back. And because of the cleansing and healing we had gone through, we knew we were ready to get our feet wet again. We searched online for some local congregations and listened to different messages. We found a church we liked and visited. And because we didn't want to necessarily go back into a similar situation we were pulled out of, we had our spiritual antennas up for anything we thought was out of order. But we were also careful not to be too judgy either. When we left the service and sat in our car to reflect, we both had nothing to say but good things. Now, that's not to say this church was perfect, but it felt right for us on our journey back. It is important, I think, to have the place that's right for you. It should be where you believe God is leading, not only for what you can receive, but contribute. It should be a good and right fit. And we should also not expect that we will never be offended again by what someone else says or does. This is just the way of our imperfect world. However, if we've gone through the healing process, we are equipped with different tools and can better handle and react to offense. Disagreement is just something we will encounter for the rest of our lives, both outside and inside church. A good portion of the Apostle Paul's writings were to address these issues. We are not exempt from conflict, but we should be able to move through it in a healthy way. I think every church should have some process in place for conflict resolution amongst believers. Having been in a supportive position to the senior pastor, I knew of many who came for guidance they needed during hard life circumstances. However, one person cannot resolve the conflicts of hundreds and thousands of parishioners. A proactive church will develop a safe place that's available for issues amongst congregants to be addressed. It could be a great tool to foster health and vitality for the believer. If these things are in place, I think we may have a lesser occurrence of people leaving our churches because they were hurt or offended. When we found our new place of worship, we didn't jump in right away to doing ministry again. We went to participate in worship and be edified by the word. Before COVID hit, we're going to look into membership classes. We wanted to take our time to fully enjoy this new experience. The church we attended and served in for many years was big on service, but did not offer a good balance for those serving. I remember a season where I was pouring out so much, spending so many plates, that the Lord told me I needed a place where I could be built up and edified. So He directed me to this ministry that I could go on Saturdays to just be a church citizen and not a leader. Now, I've witnessed a lot of churches that take on this model. The focus is on filling ministry slots and building individual ministries. And the pure reason we are called to ministry, building up people, falls by the wayside. Because we went through our healing process leaning heavily on God and never departing from Him in fellowship, we didn't feel like we needed to rush to get planted in a new place. And we never stopped using our gifts to help others. We just did it outside the walls of the church, in our everyday lives as we encountered people on our jobs, on the streets, and grocery stores, etc. Because of what we learned growing differently, we will never look at ministry the same way again. But we were happy to be able to go inside the church and not feel sad, hurt, or bitter in any way. We could truly enjoy the family of God. I recently had a discussion with a friend who was struggling in their faith walk because of a church clash. I encouraged them by saying, "Don't worry, God will bring you back full circle. Yes, indeed, He will. You just have to trust the process."